Hello, and welcome to Secrets from Athletes, where we dive into what makes a top athlete and how you can apply their routines and mindsets to your own life. I'm your host, Andre Schall, and today with me I have Professor Dante, a Royce Gracie black belt in Jujitsu, a fifth degree black belt in Taekwondo, and a brown belt in American Kenpo Karate. How are you doing today, Professor Dante?
Oh, I'm doing great, great. I'm so happy to do this with you.
Yeah, great to have you on. You were a great coach for me when I was doing Jujitsu itself.
Thank you.
And one first question is, why is the title Professor for Jujitsu?
So in Jiu-Jitsu, when there's certain times that you have to accomplish. So I already accomplished that time, and they change
Mhm.
your name instead of coach, your title instead of coach to professor. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
All
why it's
right.
this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, first question: how did you get into your sport, and what made you stick with it?
All right. So I started first in Taekwondo. So I started first in Taekwondo at 13 years old, and the reason was because when I first came to this country, I didn't know any English, and my parents they are like, this guy needs to make friends, and I wasn't too happy at school because at that time, the 1990s, there was no English as second language or EFL,
Mm-hmm.
so it was really hard for me. I didn't understand the teachers, and then kids sometimes could be mean, so they were mean in the very beginning. But my attitude always helped. And then my mom signed me up at Taekwondo. And then in 1993, November 1992, so November 12th, I remember the exact day, we watched the first UFC. And it was my instructor, his friends, other martial artists. And, we were all strikers. So when we saw the UFC, we saw Royce Gracie beat everybody, just under the clinching, taking people down, and winning all his matches. And then I'm like, man, I want to learn that. So that's how I started my jiu-jitsu, journey, crazy jiu-jitsu journey. It was that the fight that made it
Mm.
happen. Yep.
That's awesome. So you've been doing it for over 30 years now, right? Somewhere
I
around there?
started at 19 jiu-jitsu, and I'm 48 now. So, yep.
All right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's a lifelong passion for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
On this topic, what's the best piece of advice someone from your sport has given you?
Best piece of advice was to, just show up. Just show up. Just just show up, like discipline. That's what it is. Sometimes your body doesn't want to go, but if you have the discipline of doing it, you'll just show up and make it happen. So that's what I did. I just showed up, and then I might not be I wasn't the best, right? I'm still not the best, but I'm giving it all. So just showing up, man. That's one piece of advice that I got, and I
Yeah, I
keep.
feel like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like that's a great piece of advice for anything in life. I feel like maybe you did something similar when you just moved to the United States, learning English and all that. Did that help as well, or?
Yeah. So I mean, it was tough. So it was look. I was 12 years old, went to school almost turning 13. So at that age is when the boy is becoming a young man, right?
Mhm.
So imagine a kid that has just becoming a young man. I come here, I have no friends. I don't learn, I don't speak the language. So and then I saw people making fun of me. So it was really tough. But like you said, I just showed up. I just kept showing up until the insults and making fun of didn't affect me anymore. So and then
Mhm.
now look, I have friends. My bully was my friend then, so all good,
Hey,
yeah,
yeah, showing up worked, and now you own your own studio, and it's pretty
right,
successful too.
yeah. Like I said, showing up and being stubborn, but the being
Hmm.
stubborn part is the discipline part. Like the never giving up. Yeah,
On the topic of advice, if you had to recommend one daily habit for athletes, what would that be?
make a habit of being enthusiastic. Um, see the positive things in everything because that will help you. That will set your mind. The mind tells your body what to do. So everything, a challenge happens. That's great. That's a new. You can turn that into an opportunity. So being
Mhm.
positive, staying enthusiastic in life, make a habit of it. That's my advice.
I love that. I'm gonna start applying that now because with the brain, it can't really tell what's like real and what's imagination. So if you say that everything's very positive, your real life is going to be very positive as well.
It is true. It is very true. Like I have a tear on my shoulder, 2 centimeters. And the doctors are like, man, you need surgery. And then in my life, I'm like, man, how did these people long time ago used to do it? Like when there was no doctors or hospitals, and they still like they were hunters. So I'm like, no, man, I'm gonna suck it up. And, man, I can like move my arm, and
Wow.
I guess it's of course I'm gonna get surgery when I'm older, but no complaints right now.
Yeah.
I
So
think
now you're living your best life.
yeah, my mind is telling my body I'm okay, and my body believes it. So
Yeah. That's the power of a mind. It can do so much.
that's true.
So you talked about the challenge of coming to the United States. Is there another big challenge you faced within Jiu-Jitsu and your other sports, and how did you push through?
So in Jiu-Jitsu, the very beginning of Jiu-Jitsu, and you know this, when you start Jiu-Jitsu, everybody beats you up. Everybody. Like there is no, if you're brand new at this art, you're gonna get beat up. It doesn't matter what, like if you're a black belt in other arts or you something else, you're always gonna run into somebody that chokes you out. So it was a very humbling experience. When I did Jiu-Jitsu, I was a state champion in Taekwondo. So, my confidence, my self-esteem was high. And at that time, as a teenager, the ego, right? I had ego, like I'm good, I'm the state champion, I'm fast, I'm strong. Then I go with this guy smaller than me, skinnier than me. Man, he choked me out in 30 seconds. And I was just like, what? I knew the power of Jiu-Jitsu because I watched it on TV when I was 16. But I thought I was going to last longer. But man, and then that would happen every class. And I remember I used to go to class 4 times, a week because it's just so addictive. But what was addictive is the knowing, the hope that you have hope, knowing that someday, if this person is doing it, he's got 2 arms and 2 legs just like you will get there if you just show up. So I kept showing up, and I was the longest white belt because I'm a very slow learner. For me to learn something, it takes time, So it took me 6 years to be a blue belt. But my defensive technique got really good. And then, of course, as time passed, my attacking technique got better. And now I'm here.
Yeah. No, I remember the very similar thing when I started Jiu-Jitsu. I was just getting beat every single time.
Exactly.
But that's what that builds that character and that keeps showing up. Like you were saying, eventually I can be at that level.
Right, the resilience. That's key in life. Like I teach 3 R's, right? Not rolling your R's because I'm Latino, but it's 3 R's. Is respect, readiness, and resilience. I always say that respect gives you a safe place, right? Through respect, you have a safe place. Without respect, it's chaos. Then readiness. So readiness is what changes a challenge into a chance, into an opportunity. Then resilience. So resilience is what empowers you to rise and adapt and conquer all. So that's something that I'm teaching all the students. That's my goal.
So you mentioned you have both the 3 R's and you also teach multiple types of martial arts. How do you balance it all and making sure you can effectively teach each type?
So what I learned in life that you just have to simplify things, right? So for example, if I ask you, Andre, what are the 7 wonders of the world?
Let's see.
Right? You have to think of it, right?
Yeah.
It takes time, right? But if I ask you, I don't know, what are the states of what are the 3 states of the elements or the matter? So you
solid, liquid, gas. Yeah.
Right. You see how you answer that? Because it's only 3 things. So because you simplify it. Like I grew up as a Christian Catholic as a little kid, so you have the holy, in English I forgot, so the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? You never see people go in the name of the Father, the Son. Oh, I forgot. Because it's 3 things. It's really easy.
Yeah.
So that's something that I realized. If you simplify it, people will understand it better. So I think that's what I did with the arts. That's how I balanced it. Instead of practicing all the different types of blocks there are in one art, I just practice what's natural, what comes natural. So for example, in Taekwondo you have this block, right? But it's kind of rigid and robotic. So what's natural from here? Just like, so that's how I teach. I simplify the things, and that, man, that's how it's giving me. And you know this because you've been my student. That gives you the feeling of, oh, this works, instead of, because this feels awkward. So it has
Yeah.
to come natural. That's something that I learned. If it comes natural, if it's natural, then you'll do it. You'll remember it the most. But if it feels awkward, then you will not take it.
I also feel with like making it very simple, it also, but it's still effective. It allows someone to find, like you're saying, the natural way of a way that's best for them.
Exactly, because you cannot force nature, right? You can force nature. If
Yeah.
a tree is gonna be like this, the tree is gonna be like that. Doesn't matter how much. So you're right.
Yeah. So on the topic of your teaching, how did you turn your sport into a business?
Okay, that's a great question. So when I was in Peru, my mother, my father will be working. My grandmother, she used to teach in a public school. Public schools over there, you had like 70 kids, 80 kids in a classroom. So she said, nobody's gonna bother me, and she took me to her classroom when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and she did that for like 3 years. And I saw how much control. She was like maybe 4 feet 11, a lady, small lady, 4 feet 11, and she was teaching the senior class. Man, these
Mm.
kids were like, like tough kids. Um, but she controlled them. And the way she controlled it, she was like, strict but funny.
Mm.
Oh, it's like she was disciplined but also flexible. And then I saw that, and I saw how much love the kids have for her. And then every holiday over there, for example, Thanksgiving, Christmas, right? You'll open the door of the house, and man, she'll have baskets of food from her students. She'll walk outside the street, and people will be like, "Hello, Miss Nora, how are you?" And it felt great. It felt like that respect. So then I said, I want to become a teacher. So then I went to Peru University to become a teacher. I was an English teacher over there, but then I came back here.
Mm.
And then through martial arts, I'm like, why can I do both? I love teaching. I love martial arts. Let me do both. So I started teaching for somebody else for 10 years, more or less. And then I realized I'm making money for somebody else. Why cannot not make money for myself? I can do it. And that's how I started, right? But then it wasn't just about money. It was more about changing lives, through martial arts. And I think that's something that I focus on the most. Many people see people with numbers on top of their head. I don't see that. I see like a chance to change people through martial arts. So that's why I love what I do. Yeah.
That's a wonderful why. That's honestly having such a strong why can help you push forward so much and reach so much more. I honestly remember when you like first started because my dad took classes before me and he would sometimes bring me along. How I think you were renting out a space in like a local gym for a bit, right?
Remember,
Just to have the
yes,
classes.
yeah, and it was so what happened was they didn't have back to back hours, so I had to rent maybe the 4 o'clock slot and then the 7 o'clock. So there was like a big gap. So it was interesting because we'll put the mats down on the floor, and then when the class ends, I'll be like, please help, and then we'll all take them apart, and then we put them back again. So it was fun times, you know.
Yeah. Hey, well now you have your own studio. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, and man, and it's not bragging when it's true. So the studio that we got is beautiful. We got 2 floors, and
Wow.
both floors are for martial arts. So I'm so happy.
So are you doing like a specific floor per martial art, or is it kind of just for different classes?
So it depends because classes are getting big now. So what we do is we separate teenagers and adults on a different floor, and then if you're 6 to 12 on the first floor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to come check out the
Please,
new
please,
studio
before you
and
go. Yeah.
yeah, and get back into some lessons probably.
That'd be great, man. We love to your father and you, man. Great, great people. So, mom
Yeah.
too. So. Mhm.
On the topic of turning the sport into a business, what is one of the best skills you've learned while doing that, and how have you applied it in like other areas of your life?
So like the discipline. The discipline will be it. Knowing that you'll get better the more you do it. You know, we're creatures of habit. So if we keep doing something, we'll be better at it. You know, and like I said, the positive mindset helps you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that if I stick to it, don't give up. You know, and honestly, be truthful. Like show my passion. That's why people come. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The passion you brought to jujitsu is honestly why I stuck with it because it's like, wow, this guy really loves the sport. I want to learn from him.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, on around a similar topic, this was just a personal curious thing of mine.
Yeah.
When you got the black belts and brown belts, did you do it like one at a time, or was it kind of all at the same time you were getting
Oh
higher
no,
up and higher up?
no. So what happens is in Taekwondo, I got my black belt in 5 years. In Kenpo, it took me longer time, 7 years, brown belt. I never tested for black belt, so that's something that is in my back of my head. Like I want to come back, but then I discovered Jiu-Jitsu, and Jiu-Jitsu is a type of art that is not just memorization; it's about feeling. And like I said, look, it's about feeling, natural body movement. Of course, being strong and fast helps, but the goal is not to rely on that. So then that art takes a lot because you have to honestly, get wet. Like you have to do that a lot of times to get better at jiu-jitsu. For jiu-jitsu, it took me 20 years to be a black belt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So but like I said, especially in this country, if you specialize on something, you'll have a chance to make a living out of it. You know, so specialize on something.
Hmm. So, now for a more like fun question, what's the funniest story you've seen from the martial arts you've done?
Oh man, so the funny story I tell you is so when I tested for my black belt under Royce Gracie. So in the Gracie, they call this the Gracie diet. So the Gracie diet, they have you don't eat pork. Pork is out of the question. It's like no pork, and there's a reason behind it, but we won't get into that. So as a black belt candidate, you had to understand and then at least apply one thing of the diet, right? And I'm going. It was in Miami, the test with Hoyes and the Valente brothers. I tell my friend, "Hey, I'm hungry," and he's like, "No, man, you cannot eat because you're on a test now." And I said, "No, man, I'm really hungry. I need to eat. If I don't eat," so he's like, "Where are we gonna go?" And I said, "Let's go to Dunkin' Donuts." So he's like, "Okay, we'll go to Dunkin' Donuts," and then I get the bacon cheese, whatever, and I'm like, and then he's like, "Hey, it's really full here. Let's eat outside." So I'm like, "All right, man, let's go outside." As I'm walking out with my burger, with a sandwich and the bacon, I'm eating it like this, and then you see two people running, right? And then they stop, and then he looks at me. He was Royce Gracie, and he's like, "Is that bacon?" And then he's like, yes. I mean, he got me good, but I was just so hungry. You know?
Hey, that's quite the first impression.
Yeah. So then it's funny because on the part of the test, when you take the test, they ask you, "Do you apply the Gracie diet?" So when they asked me that question, of course, no. But I was doing it until that day. Yeah, that was
Can
funny.
you talk a bit about how the black belt test for jiu-jitsu works?
Oh man, yeah. So before I couldn't talk about it, right? But now I can. Now it's finally out. So the black belt, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt, nobody talks about it, so you never really know what to expect when you go there.
Hmm.
So when I went there, I already had my black belt in Taekwondo. I had tested in Kenpo. So in my head, Jiu-Jitsu, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu test is gonna be very similar, which was about being fast, being strong. So when I have the first person attack me, I do like a knife hand, like, bah, like a strike. And Jiu-Jitsu translates to the gentle art. So in Jiu-Jitsu, the goal is to minimize damage for you and for the other person. So of course, my reaction was wrong. And then they all laugh and they're like, "Man, you're not ready for this. Come back again." So then I go again. And then, man, the test was intense. Like, because it, people are attacking you and not attacking you fake, like attacking you for real. So if you realize Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, everything, people started doing it because of the UFC, right? But if you realize the UFC, that's like people really hitting you. So nothing fake about it. So that's how the test is. They want to simulate a fight, not just with one person. I don't lie to you, man. There were probably 50 black belts. Out of those 50 black belts, you have maybe 7 or 8 of them coming to attack.
Oh wow.
And you have to apply that technique, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu technique, you know. So it was fun and finally done. So I'm happy. Now I can finally talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now as a black belt, can you be one of the ones during the testing to test the other person, or
Yes.
is it?
Now you're welcome to. They ask you, right? So, hey, do you mind doing the self-defense portion, or do you
Mhm.
want to do the boxing portion, or the MMA, or kicking part? So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So what are your future plans for your business and your sport in general?
Yeah, just keep spreading the word. Keep changing life through martial arts, and then maybe keep expanding. Why not? Martial
Mm.
arts changed my life, and I would like people to realize the power of martial arts.
Mm.
So, no, no, not as
Yeah.
a business, but expanding as sharing the martial arts knowledge.
Hmm. Yeah. That's wonderful. I wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank
Now,
you.
the last question before we get into the more blitz questions, which are just kind of fun questions, is what is one question you wanted me to ask but I didn't?
One question that let me see. Mm, that's an interesting question. One question that I wanted you to ask. Uh, did I ever quit? Did I ever
Mm.
feel like quitting? Um, I think quitting was never an option
Mm.
because I found my peace through martial arts. I So when I say that I found my peace through martial arts is I felt respected.
Mm.
And what did I say earlier? Respect gives you a safe place. So as a preteen, 12-year-old coming to this country, I didn't feel that respect. Uh, so I was looking for it, and I found it through the martial arts. You know,
Mm.
and that's something that I think will answer that.
That's great. I feel like especially if it's something that strong that, like you were saying, that safe space for you, your like mind, your body never does want to quit it because then you'd be losing that kind of aspect of your life.
Right?
Now on to the blitz questions. These are just more kind of fun, quick questions. Don't need to put much thought into it.
Uh-huh.
The first one, what is your favorite season?
Oh man, I love summer. I'm from South America, so I'm a tropical rat. So
Hmm.
I like the summer.
All right. So second question, would you rather go out to somewhere with friends or stay in?
Depends on the age. Now, at 48, of course, I stay home and I practice my own things. Like I don't know if you see my videos. I like to grab whatever I have in my hand and then just like start practicing and making. So that at this time. Now maybe at 20, of course, hang out with my friends.
Hmm.
At 30, a little bit more of both. So I guess with age, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes when my friends invite me to do something, man, I'm like, yeah, let's go. But now
Right.
it's like, oh, I have to go home now. It's too late.
You got to be in bed by 10
Right.
or
Yeah,
thing.
man, it's interesting how that happens. Many people want to grow up so fast, and then it's like, oh, okay. You know?
Yeah. What is your favorite animal?
I love dogs. Dogs are,
Dogs.
and it's that's interesting because look, I got attacked by dogs in my country.
Mm.
But man, dogs are like the best, honestly.
Do you have any dogs right now or
I have two dogs.
two
I have
dogs?
two rescue dogs. One
Mm.
is like a pit bull, staffy, they call it,
Mm.
staffy, and the other one is a mix of pit bull and boxer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who is
I
your
saw your
favorite
dog over
music? Oh, yeah, my
there.
dog is here. He's
Yeah,
laying here. Normally not in the episodes, but
yeah.
he decided he wanted to be in this one.
That's so cool.
Who is your favorite music artist?
Music. Oh man. So this person passed away. He was from Spain. He had a band called Jarabe de Palo, and he was very positive and enthusiastic. And that guy knew that he had cancer, that he was dying, and he still gave the concerts like nothing. And he will tell you in his concert, he's like, "I'm doing my best. Cancer won't take me. It might take my body, but never my mind." But it was just so positive in the writing of his songs. They really like hit me because like he overcame so many challenges as a kid too.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, positive attitude all the time. Even though he knew like the end was coming, he never showed it. He said it's a process, it's part of life. And to me, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a beautiful mindset to have. I feel like that's kind of like with a mindset, that's the end goal to
Yes.
get to some point like that. What is your favorite TV show?
Oh well, not they don't play it anymore, but it's called Happy Days. I don't know if
Hmm.
long time ago.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's from like the 70s. So I still watch it on reruns on YouTube. They don't play it anymore. But like this guy is also positive. Like he will help his friends. He was a loner, really, but he was very positive, and funny too. So.
That's cool. I need to check it out. Maybe
Yes,
I'll find a new
Happy
favorite
Days.
TV show.
It's a long time ago. Happy Days.
Okay. Back to the topic of sport. What sport would you do other than martial arts?
Man, look, I honestly will not change martial arts. Look, I made a varsity team in high school, a soccer varsity team in high school when I was a sophomore.
Oh, wow.
So, it's not that I was good at soccer. It's just that I, as a little kid in South America, you have no choice but to play. If you're a boy, you gotta play soccer. Like if you don't play soccer and you're a boy, man, people are gonna beat you up, make fun of you. Even your own dad will be your bully if you don't play soccer. Right? So I had no choice. So I play soccer with my friends outside in the street. So then when I came here, I I was pretty good at soccer. I used to make the corner kicks. The corner
Oh,
kicks when you go like. So I was
yeah.
very good at that, and that's why honestly I think that's the reason they picked me.
Mm.
But then I had to decide between a soccer game. It was a soccer game on a Saturday and a martial arts tournament.
Hmm.
So I tell my coach, Coach Ode, what's his name, from Manandal High School. He's Dante, you're gonna be playing, and I said, no, I can't, Coach. I have a martial arts tournament on Saturday, and he goes right away. He's like, look, you need to decide, man. So many times you tell me that you're not gonna be here, and you made a team, and other people wanna play. And I said, well, I choose martial arts, and I chose martial arts. So
Yeah.
martial arts was the only choice.
Well, I think it's turned out great for you.
I love it.
Right. Invisibility or super speed as a power?
Disability or super speed as a power? Well, I'm not competing against anybody, so you say invisibility?
Invisibility, yes.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. Invisibility.
Just for those black belt tests, if you're one of the ones testing them, just go invisible. That'd be quite the test.
Yeah, and then show up and take them down.
Yeah. So earlier you were talking about how on your like stories on your Instagram you take like different martial arts like weapons and just kind of do different tricks with them.
Right.
What's your favorite, nunchucks or like a sparring staff, or is there another one?
No, man, I love nunchucks. So nunchucks were my very first weapon as a little kid from the 80s. I don't know if you know what the Thundercats are. Have you heard of that? No,
No,
man.
I have not.
Yeah, so the Thundercats used to be a cartoon in the 80s about these superheroes. They were cats, but each of them had different weapons. Kind of like a
Mhm.
Ninja Turtles. So there was this guy named Panther. He had the nunchucks, and that's when I saw the nunchucks for the first time. I was 7, 8 years old. And man, at that age, I got the broom, my grandma's broom, and I cut it. And then I put a little metal, like a nail, and then tied it with ropes, and I made my own nunchucks.
Oh, wow.
And it was funny because when my grandma comes and she's like, "Where is the broom?" And I'm like, "It's right here, grandma. I made nunchucks." And, oh my god, kid! So nunchucks will be my favorite weapon.
So are there like tournaments where you fight with nunchucks, or is it more just a kind of like for?
When I was doing it, I never found a nunchuck tournament. But now, now that social media is everything,
Mm,
everywhere. I mean, I've seen nunchucks tournaments, so that will be interesting to compete. I would love that.
mm.
I think I'll do okay.
Yeah.
But I
And
gotta
Vince,
do
on
it
the
first.
yeah, on the topic of competitions, what's the favorite martial art competition you've been a part of?
Favorite martial art competition will have to be Jiu-Jitsu, because it's honestly like a real fight.
Mm,
Um, Not that the other one is not a real fight, but this is more realistic. Like when somebody wants to hurt you, they're gonna come and try to take you down, and put you on the ground and break you. So jiu-jitsu gives me the most. It, I think what it is, it helps you stay on the present. That's why I love that because m- many people nowadays we think of what we should have done in the past or what we want to do in the future, but the present is not enjoy as much. So I think
mhm,
jiu-jitsu makes. I mean, you have to live the present. So that's something that I think why I like the jiu-jitsu tournaments more.
mm. Is there a specific tournament like that you competed in for jiu-jitsu that was your favorite?
I used to compete a lot, not anymore since I opened the business. It's just different. You have to train. I honestly like to take time to train if I compete.
Hmm.
So the last competition I did was I know I competed as a black belt. When I first got my black belt, I competed. I got second place. Uh, it was fun. I mean, competing is fun. It doesn't matter the result. It's fun. It makes you understand who you are. Your
Hmm.
personality comes out.
That's one reason why I love rowing competitions because it's kind of just it's everything. Whatever happens, you truly see how much you can push yourself.
Right, right. I bet you like you are on the press and you're like, oh man, I better keep rolling. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's sometimes like the first like half of a race, it's like, oh, this is easy. We're moving so fast, and then in that last little bit, it's like, oh my, that's
right.
that's that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why competitions are key. I think everybody should compete in something, whatever it is.
Hmm.
You have to because it's an experience that I think a human need
Yeah.
to go through.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on, Professor Dante. It was an
Thank you,
honor to
Andre.
have you on.
Thank you so
And
much. Yeah.
real quick, if you want to, you can share your Instagram so the viewers they can stop by, get lessons from you.
Oh, excellent. Yes. So my school is located in Fairfax, Warwick Avenue. It's a big yellow house. You'll see it. And the name of the school is Vigilance Martial Arts. I'm also an affiliate of Capital MMA Fairfax. So we have all the programs. Come check us out. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We also have TikTok. So Vigilance Martial Arts or Capital MMA Fairfax. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Andre. Hopefully you
Of
come back
course.
to class.
I will. And thank you all for tuning in to Secrets from Athletes. Make sure to follow on Instagram at secrets_from_athletes. We'll be back with more secrets from athletes to help you refine your mindsets and routines.